Top IRS tax credits, IRS rankings. In this video, we look at the results of the Internal Revenue Service's statistical analysis of U.S. personal income tax returns to identify the top tax credits claimed by American taxpayers. As a quick reminder, tax credits are used to offset taxes, with certain tax credits being refundable, such that where the amount of the credit exceeds the total tax owed, the excess credit can be refunded to the taxpayer. Furthermore, the U.S. federal government has been fluctuating around with the non-refundable versus refundable status of various tax credits in the past few years, such that it is important to review the current status of a particular tax credit, given that we are looking at statistical data from a single point in time and based upon a broad sweep that is undertaken for purposes of statistical analysis, as opposed to individual application for a given taxpayer in a particular year. Number 1, Child and Other Dependent Tax Credit. In 2020, the Child and Other Dependent Tax Credit was the most claimed tax credit, being claimed on 39,300,000 income tax returns and constituting $84.4 billion in non-refundable tax credits. For analytical purposes, it is viewed exclusive of the refundable additional child tax credit, which will be addressed at number 4. The credit is provided to taxpayers that paid expenses for the care of a qualifying individual to enable the taxpayer and their spouse, if filing a joint return, to work or actively look for work. IRS topic numbers 602 and IRS publication 503 are excellent resources for the Child and Other Dependent Tax Credit. Number 2, Recovery Rebate Credit. Introduced for the 2020 tax year, the Recovery Rebate Credit was the second highest tax credit and highest refundable tax credit, being claimed on 31,096,000 income tax returns and constituting $45.4 billion in refundable tax credits. This COVID-era tax credit was provided to taxpayers that missed the stimulus payment, economic impact payment, or got less than the full amount, were potentially eligible to claim a recovery rebate credit on their 2020 or 2021 federal tax return, with IRS publication 5,486 being a good starting point. Number 3, Earned Income Tax Credit. The Earned Income Tax Credit was the third highest tax credit in 2020, although in prior years tended to be the second highest tax credit and highest refundable tax credit, being claimed in 2020 on 26,026,000 income tax returns and constituting $59.2 billion in refundable tax credits. The Earned Income Tax Credit helps low-income to moderate-income workers and families get a tax break, supplementing their wages and offsetting the impact of the Social Security tax. IRS publication 596 provides an expansive look at the Earned Income Credit. Number 4, Additional Child Tax Credit. The Additional Child Tax Credit was the fourth highest tax credit in 2020, being claimed on 19,119,000 income tax returns and constituting $33.6 billion in refundable tax credits. The Additional Child Tax Credit is the refundable portion of the child tax credit that can be claimed by families who owed the IRS less than their qualified child tax credit amount. Number 5, Retirement Savings Contribution Credit. The Retirement Savings Contribution Credit was the fifth highest tax credit in 2020, being claimed on 9,401,000 income tax returns and constituting $1.75 billion in non-refundable tax credits. The Retirement Savings Contribution Credit is available in certain circumstances for taxpayers making certain contributions to an employer retirement plan or an individual retirement arrangement (IRA), or contributions to an Achieving a Better Life Experience (ABLE) account, of which the taxpayer is the designated beneficiary. See IRS publication 590-A for more. Number 6, Foreign Tax Credit. The foreign tax credit was the sixth highest tax credit in 2020, being claimed on 9,201,000 income tax returns and constituting $21.6 billion in non-refundable tax credits. As discussed in IRS Publication 514, taxpayers that paid or accrued foreign taxes to a foreign country or U.S. possession and are subject to U.S. tax on the same income may be able to take either a credit or an itemized deduction for those taxes. Number 7, non-refundable education credits. 7th in 2020 were non-refundable education credits being claimed on 7,419,000 income tax returns and constituting $7.8 billion in non-refundable tax credits. An example of a non-refundable education credit is the Lifetime Learning Credit, which is for qualified tuition and related expenses paid for eligible students enrolled in an eligible education institution. Number 8, American Opportunity Credit. The American Opportunity Credit was the 8th highest tax credit in 2020, being claimed on 6,481,000 income tax returns and constituting $5.6 billion in refundable tax credits. The American Opportunity Tax Credit is a refundable tax credit for qualified education expenses paid for an eligible student for the first 4 years of higher education. Number 9, Child Care Credit. The Child Care Credit was the 9th highest tax credit in 2020, being claimed on 5,050,000 income tax returns and constituting $2.8 billion in non-refundable tax credits, although its distinction from the child and other dependent tax credit is not made entirely clear when one reviews IRS Publication 503, Child and Dependent Care Expenses, and assesses it against a statistical presentation of the IRS in Publication 1304. Number 10, Residential Energy Credit. The Residential Energy Credit was the 10th highest tax credit in 2020, being claimed on 2,291,000 income tax returns, constituting $3.9 billion in non-refundable tax credits. Residential energy credits include both non-business energy property credits and residential energy efficient property credits, with IRS instructions for Form 5695 being an excellent starting point. Thank you.